Thank you so much, Zain Bika, for the wonderful musical break there. We really enjoyed ourselves back here in the studio. And if you've just tuned in, the program is Good Morning Abuja, and it is coming to you from the Unity Station NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Now, before we bring up all our discussion segments and other interesting segments we have for you on this special Good Morning Abuja edition, let's take you through the feature that we gathered together talking about Eid Fitri celebrations. Let's see how it goes.
Every year, millions of Muslims around the world come together to celebrate Eid, a festival of joy, faith, and gratitude. What is Eid and how is it celebrated? Eid is not just a holiday, it is a time of reflection, unity, and generosity. There are two major Eid celebrations in Islam. Eid al-Fitr, also known as the festival of breaking the fast, marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan. While Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, honors the devotion of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his unwavering faith in Allah. The day of Eid begins early in the morning with a special prayer known as Salatul Eid, performed in an open field or mosques. Families dress in new or best clothes, embracing the joy of the occasion. One of the most beautiful aspects of Eid is giving. Before the Eid prayer, Muslims donate Zakatul Fitr, a charity that ensures even the less fortunate can enjoy the celebrations. After the Eid prayer, warm greetings fill the air. Eid Mubarak, meaning blessed Eid. People visit relatives, exchange gifts, and share delicious meals, traditional meals, for example, jollof rice, masa, snacks, and drinks to fill the dining tables, bringing families together in the spirit of joy. It's more than just a celebration. It is a reminder of faith, unity, and kindness, whether through prayers, charity, or spending time with loved ones. It brings people together in a spirit of love and gratitude. As the sun sets on this special day, hearts are filled with thankfulness and prayers are made for peace and prosperity. Eid Mubarak.
Thank you so much for staying with us on Good Morning Abuja. That was the backgrounder of how Eid came about. You know that for everything we do, there's always a beginning. So that was a backgrounder, which will usher us into our discussion segment. But we'll take a break. When we come back, our discussion segment continues.
Welcome back. So, to take us further in talking about the significance of Eid Fitri as we celebrate Salah, we have engineer Musa Daud, who is the Imam Islamic Family Foundation Masjid, with us here in the studio. Sir, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Welcome
Okay.
to the program, sir.
Thank you very
Eid
much.
Mubarak to
Mubarak.
you too. Okay, now we're looking at the significance of Eid al-Fitr. We want you to take us through the importance and why is it celebrated?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على من والاه أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن سيدنا نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله. We thank Allah for giving us the opportunity not only to be alive, but to participate in the fasting of Ramadan and to be part of those that are celebrating the conclusion that has dovetailed into Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr is this the festival that is observed at the end of the 30 or 29 days fasting, and on the commandment is you have undergone a training. You see, the Ramadan is an intensive training course.
It is.
It's an intensive. As you are learning, what you are learning, you are putting it into practice. It is a training. So, having gone through that, you are expected to also be paraded, which happened in the last 10 nights of Lailatul Qadr, when the angels come and they were seeing the servant of Allah, all of them across the world, worshiping, calling on Allah in that night. The angels were so, they marvel and say, and so they are even jealous of us. So, having done the parading, of course, the next is to give you your certificate, which is what Eid al-Fitr is all about. The spiritual aspect of fasting, zakat, and all that have been done, but you now also have to celebrate in a manner that is also prescribed.
Okay.
So that you it's like graduation. And when you are graduating, they say you have graduated with a conduct. You are being certified as fit to go to the next level. This is what the Eid al-Fitr is about. So when you are going, you are expected to also be conscious of what you have passed through, the training you have passed through, and continuous remembrance of your Creator, Allah. That is where the tasbih, the taslim, that is subhanallah, glory be to you, alhamdulillah, thanks be to you, la ilaha illallah. There is no deity deserving of worship except you. So when you are going, those are the things we chant, and coming back, having already give out the charity for those that will not be able to afford. So everybody just must be in the happy mood. That is teaching us that when you are happy, you make the next person happy.
Exactly.
That's true.
So that is the essence of Eid al-Fitr.
Okay.
It's not that to say, thank God the fasting have ended.
It's over.
Then I go back to that what your character in the next 11 months, how you should behave between you and your God, between you and your neighbor, between you and your family. It has been taught. So you continue with that. By the time you are forgetting again, Ramadan again will enter.
Okay, so Ramadan has come, the fasting has come and gone, fasted for like 30 days, and all the lessons have been learned, and with Eid marking the end of Ramadan, how does Eid al-Fitr encourage generosity and gratitude?
One, the generosity has been taught before you go to eat. You are expected to give out dry food that is common in your area. People are mistaking common food with poor food. That cheap food.
Okay.
That a food is common doesn't mean it's cheap.
Okay, because I was going to ask when you say poor food and cheap food. Okay.
Common food is what is popular in that environment. Like if you love eating rice, rice is and it's available.
It is.
Beans is available. It's common. In some part of the country, it is garri that is common. And you can't tell me. So it's different from cheap. When they are taking common food, you say that it's common doesn't mean it's cheap. And that it's expensive doesn't mean it is of value to you. So common food, what you can easily access and purchase and give out. So that is one of the charity that being taught during the Eid al-Fitr. Now, showing gratitude, you see, the only thing that you need to be thankful for is life. Once you have life, you have hope. And once you have hope, you are useful to yourself. If you aspire, you are useful to your family, you are useful to your community and country. So life is of essence. And it's because of that life that those that are not, that are breastfeeding, those that are sick, those that are very aged, are exempted from fasting so that you can preserve life.
Right.
So having life is, just try to find out the cost of putting gas into somebody that is fainting in the hospital. You will know the essence of this fresh air that all of us are. So you have to be thankful that you are alive. You also have to be thankful that you are able to complete you are part of those that undergone the training and you come out graduating with your certificate. You also have to be thankful that you have a home and you have a country. You have that this our beautiful country, oh Lord, I've never seen anywhere that is better than Nigeria across the world.
I agree with you.
Because we have everything.
Everything is there.
Including human beings. So all we need is to now be proud of our own and use it, which is the essence again of Eid al-Fitr. When you see all those things that we are using to celebrate Eid al-Fitr, they are local.
Okay.
When people are fasting, there is not supposed to be market going on, but no market woman or man is complaining because sales is going on, money is exchanging hands, market people are happy. You can see. So and during Salah, people are buying clothes, they are buying things are changing. So the economy is also rolling and we are fasting. So this is to tell us that we should patronize ourselves. We should use what we have. And when we do this, we are not only going to be healthy, we are going to be happy. Because what makes people happy is money.
It is.
Not the money you transfer. If you want to know how happy a woman is, just give her money.
Okay,
But,
sir. Talking about generosity and gratitude that he just elaborated in this period of Ramadan, I want you to dig deeper into talking to us more on the zakat, which is sacrifice, which is giving, which is making your neighbor happy. And that is what God has commanded all of us to do. When you put a smile on someone's faces. So you talk to us about the role, bringing it out, pointing it out, so that we understand more. It is not when you have, until you have so much before you should be able to give. How we can continue it after Ramadan.
Okay. In Islam, wealth is very, very important. Wealth, poverty is not piety. So nobody should think because he's a poor man because of that is, and that you are rich doesn't mean you are not
You have everything.
God conscious. Because there are among the prophets of Allah those that are very, very wealthy. Sulaiman was a king and has his father David was a king and he has wealth. Prophet Ibrahim, among those that are most generous is Prophet Ibrahim.
Okay.
There is no visitor that come to Prophet Ibrahim's house and he will not slaughter a calf. It's not calf is the young version.
The baby
Is the sweetest.
Wow.
And the older an animal is, the difficult it is to digest. And for somebody to sacrifice a calf is money.
It is.
So if you should put cost on it, if you not want to, you look for the one that is about to past childbearing age. Okay. And those ones, they are not sweet. Okay. So it's very generous.
Okay. So as we talk about generosity, we know you take us further, but let's quickly break this discussion. Okay. When we come back, you talk to us more on that. Yes, we are still here and we are discussing the significance of Eid al-Fitr. Let's quickly go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll be here to give you more. Stay with us, please.
families are gathering, remembering Allah, and that His love is the greatest by far. All praise for you, Allah, all thanks to you. The joy of Eid comes only from you.
Welcome back, and if you've just tuned us, engineer Musa Dawood is still with us, taking us through the significance of Eid al-Fitr. Yes, before we went on that break, you were giving us the role to Zakat, how we can continue it after Ramadan.
Now, again, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam standardized the generosity aspect of the economy of wealth for us. There are two sectors. One is obligatory, which is zakat. Zakat is an annual obligatory charity that those that are wealthy must observe. It is 1/40 part of your savings per year. And you give it, those that are to receive it are mentioned in the Quran. There are 8 classes of people. Then Sadaqah is the normal run of charity. That one, there is no limit to it. If you have 1 billion, you can use 500 million as charity. As Sadaqah. There is no limit to that one. And it is not time bound. Now, again, the third one is the one we have just finished now. This is Eid al-Fitr. You have the Zakat al-Fitr, which is the charity that end the fasting. This charity serves 2 purposes. One, it helps the receiver to also celebrate in himself. But to you, the giver, it purifies your fasting. If you don't observe it before going to eat, your fasting will not ascend to Allah.
Okay, so is it compulsory?
It's compulsory.
Okay.
It's compulsory for entire Muslim that are in that household. Okay. Even a child that is born in the hospital, while the prayer is yet to be observed.
Okay, who are the beneficiaries? Could it be everyone? Non-Muslim as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Among the class of people, there are non-Muslims there. You have the wayfarer. You have the one that is in debt. You need to bail out. You have those that are propagating the religion. You have those, even though they are not Muslim, but they love the Muslims. You know, so there are 8. Those 8 encompasses everybody, because your neighbor, when the Prophet ﷺ was talking to the people, and he started talking of good neighborliness, the people said, the companions, they said they were almost afraid that maybe Allah is going to decree that your neighbor will inherit you, because he said your 40 houses to the left, 40 houses to the right, front and back, they are your neighbor. Yeah. And not only in terms of that, even in this system now, whoever your colleague are your neighbor. Yes, when you are inside the vehicle, they are your neighbor.
Yes, they are.
Sure, you understand. So goodness, when you are happy, those that will also celebrate with you are your immediate neighbor. In Abuja now, who you carry his family come here if you didn't marry here.
And
and when there are challenges too, it's those that are in your immediate that will.
Most of the times these days, people think their neighbor should just be the very next house to you by your left and right. That is what people
because
think.
They are trained by the British now.
But
those one they even exclude everybody. It's only your flight. They don't even know it's across the next flight.
This is now an eye opener to everybody on who your neighbor is.
In Islam, it's 40 houses left, 40 houses
right, and back and forth. That's what I just learned now. Okay, and we know that most of the times these days, when people celebrate, Eid is a time of celebration, and when people celebrate, they tend to go over the border. Tell us, what are some personal rules or things you do to ensure in your family, let's be personal now, that celebration does not go over the border, and how should people watching celebrate? Tell us how we should celebrate to ensure that, it doesn't go out of control.
In this part of the world, we consider celebration as if you have to lose your head and bang and do music and all that. No, the moment you see, even if you eat sugar, if you are not happy, you are not happy.
You're not happy.
But even if you eat bitter leaf and you tell you are happy, you are happy. So celebration in Islam, moderation is key. Neither extreme left or extreme right. The Quran described the Muslims as ummatan wasatan, the people of the middle course. In religion, some says don't marry at all because sex is objectionable. Women are bad. Some says marry as many as possible. All of this because women are bad. But Islam says no. When you marry and you are responsible, this is the limit. And you are going to be rewarded how you take care of them. And you are going to be accountable for them.
Accountability.
So you celebration, eat good food, dress nicely, let the children play around. In actual fact, for the Prophet ﷺ, where he allowed the women among themselves to dance among themselves and play, the Prophet ﷺ play with the children in his house. So we don't need to go out and say you want to have fun. Well, let me tell you, how can you fast 30 days with this night day? Everybody is tired though.
Yes.
If you are when you are released, when you didn't use like this, you want
You
to
must
continue
celebrate.
sleeping. So you must celebrate but be reasonable. Those things that are prohibited still stand prohibited.
Okay.
No cigarette, no smoking, no alcohol, no intoxicant, and stay enjoy your family.
Okay.
And I think let madam know that you are on ground.
You're on ground and let the celebration
continue.
Okay, as we round up the discussion segment quickly before we go, we want you to, recap this section for us by advising us and telling us the best way to celebrate. And, we say it's a call for unity, it's a call for love, it's a call for, sacrifice and checking one another and how we can, continue life, a good life after Ramadan. Quickly before we go, sir.
Life is sweet. We need to protect it.
Exactly.
And that is why we are given Ramadan. All of us are renewed. All of us are rejuvenated. The organs are functioning. So let us know that you need to protect it. Again, you need to know that religion is about humanity. Celebration is about humanity. The human in you, let it impact on the other person.
Okay.
Let us know that, again, it's part of faith to believe in your country. When you start asking, why did your mother born you for your father? Or why did you, is act of kufar.
Why did they appear in this family?
It's act of disbelief.
Or in this nation.
Because you have no hand in it. It's your destiny.
Yeah.
So once you start challenging your parents, why did you born me here? Why did you do this? Well, then is the Prophet is sign of kufar. That is an unbeliever. So you find yourself here. Nobody wants to come, but nobody wants to go now. Who wants to go?
No, not
So we are here. Let's enjoy. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's be useful.
Okay.
Ask yourself, where am I impactful in my family? Where am I impactful in my community? So that when you go, because we are all making history.
If you allow him to talk, we will not leave here today.
No, I don't talk much. I don't talk much.
Thank you so much.
much.
We had our guest engineer Musa Dawood. He is Imam Islamic Family Foundation Masjid.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the program.
We
my
appreciate
pleasure.
your time.
All the points you made.
And once again, Eid Fitr celebration to all of us.
Eid
Yes,
Mubarak.
Nigerians.
Eid Mubarak.
And he has thrown a lot of light on the significance of Eid al-Fitr, how it should be celebrated, and Zakat, which I know is very important in the Muslim faith. Now we go on a short break. When we come back, Good Morning Abuja continues.
This Ramadan was fantastic for me, and I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. In fact, I pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all what we have done in this month of Ramadan, and may He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, spare our lives to witness yet another Ramadan comes 2026, inshallah. All Muslims were expected to continue with the same pattern. Ramadan is the month of kindness, generosity to people. So after Ramadan, we expect people to continue with this kindness and generosity to others.
We learned a lot of things from the tafsir, from our malams, both at home and in the tafsir here. There are so many things that we learned, so many things that we don't know, and we now know and how to go about it, inshallah, with our families.
Because there are so many merits in the month of Ramadan, because it's a month of rahmah, blessing, the month of barakah, blessing, the month of forgiveness from Almighty Allah. So the month of being kind to ourselves in our society. So we learn a lot of kindness. We attend so many sermons, tafsir, and we learn a lot of moral lessons of Islam.
First, do you understand? At least they will want to be okay food. When they don't have the money to buy food, when food are still expensive, you don't expect them to come to the shoes and bag.
You are not seeing anything in the market. Unlike before, that when it's remaining 1 or 2 days, people come inside the market to buy things for Salah.
Many thanks for rejoining us on this special edition of Good Morning Abuja. It is the Salah special edition, and we're just coming back from the streets asking people how Ramadan went this year. Of course, the responses were fantastic. Our next guest will be joining us virtually, and she's in person of Dr. Aisha Adabiruku. She is CEO Master Coach Hub, and we will be discussing the role of women during the Eid celebration. Good to have you, Dr. Aisha. How are you doing?
I'm having me, Pamela. It's nice to see you again.
All right, you're welcome to the program too.
Good to see you too. Now, you know, the role of women can never be downplayed. Women, we have the home front, we also work, we do a lot of things. And during this Eid celebration, our roles will be further brought to the fore. So we will be discussing the role of women during the Eid celebration. And I want to start off by asking you, how was the Ramadan? After that, what religious activities do women participate in during the Eid preparation?
Eid is a day of celebration for Muslims, and as women, we can participate by going to the Eid grounds to participate in the Eid prayer. The Rasul told us that as women, we should go to the Eid ground to witness the goodness and the supplication of the Muslims. Even menstruating women are encouraged to go to the Eid ground to participate in the prayer. Beyond prayer, women engage in zikr, which is the remembrance of Allah. We also recite the takbir, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. And we also make heartfelt du'as for ourselves and for our family members. This is a moment to feel the mercy and blessings of Allah, and we must, we must take adequate advantage of it. On the day of Eid, it's related by Tabrani that the angels of Allah descends and say, "O Muslims, go to your Lord, the most generous, who grants great blessings and forgives major sins."
I want to take you further in the question. Like you say, women contribute to the happiness of the family and the nation at large. Now, talking about after from the praying ground, we come home. Let's now come home and talk about the feast and celebration proper. Now, how do women contribute to preparing festive meal during this Eid Fitr celebration?
Eid mornings are filled with the rich aroma of different delicious meals wafting through the air from, our homes. In Nigeria, we cook our traditional meals like jollof rice, rice and stew, moi moi, samosa, and as Muslim women, the Quran encourages us that we should eat of the good things we have provided for your sustenance, but commit no excess. So we also have to pay attention to not committing excess when it comes to, preparation of meals and actually, distributing to our family and friends and also to the needy, to our neighbors. We need to share love and kindness during Eid, and this is symbolized by the Eid meals that we cook and we distribute.
Very well said, Dr. Aisha. And once it comes to food, everyone's ear becomes very attentive. It's one of the ways that we are celebrating when you perceive the aroma of food and seafood everywhere. Kudos to women all over around the world and in Nigeria especially, for the sacrifices we make for family. Now, when you talk about celebrations, one thing that definitely happens is everybody loves to look good. We like to appear well. So how should women dress during this Eid celebration and even beyond that?
Eid is a day of beauty, a day of celebration, as Muslim women were encouraged to wear new outfits. But if you don't have new outfits, you can ensure that you wash your old clothes and iron it and look good on that day. Women also decorate their hands with henna, and as Muslim women, we must. The celebration does not, stop us from observing the boundaries of the Sharia, which is that the Quran tells us in Quran 24, verse 31, that tell the believing women to lower their gaze and guard their chastity and not to display their adornments except what normally appears thereof. So, as Muslim women, what's allowed is for our faces and hands to show only. Every other part of our body must be fully covered with loose fitting clothing for our visit to the prayer ground. But at home, we can discard, the outer garments and look beautiful for our spouse and children and enjoy Eid, with um, perfumes, with incense in the burning in the house, with enjoying meals, welcoming guests, and all of that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aisha. I love the part that you said you don't need to go over the roof because you want to look good. If you have old clothes, you can wash it, iron it, and look presentable for the celebration. Now, having talked about prayers, having talked about food, and having talked about the clothes to wear, now let's bring it down to the bond, the role that women plays in bonding their families together, as well as everybody around the vicinity, community, and even the nation at large. What role do you think women play in strengthening bonds, good relationship between one another and as a family?
Okay, so like what happens in my own home is on as the day is breaking for Eid, we are going out to tell each other Eid Mubarak, and then we are preparing to go, to the Eid ground to pray, and everybody is involved. Even my old son is involved in operations. Like last year when I had to go on a good area, I didn't go into the Eid ground. So I had already left for the studio before he woke up. And later he was asking me, "Oh, you didn't come with us to the Eid ground. Where were you?" So the role women play is to be, Rasulullah said that each of you is a shepherd. And for the woman, she's a shepherd over the home of her husband. Is the shepherd over the family, but the woman is known as the queen of the rabbit of the home. So, as the queen of the, you are supposed to coordinate the Eid day. Everybody is ready on time. Ensure that you have an already planned menu and got everything you need to prepare that menu, and you are also expected expected to welcome guests and honor your guests as a Muslim woman. Um, and if there are any, disagreements with any family member, it is a good time to reconcile, to share love, to reconnect. We call distant relatives, we mend broken ties, and we encourage children to seek forgiveness, from their elders, and spouses to, seek forgiveness from each other if they have any issues, so that they can really, really enjoy the celebration. And as women, we actually can, you know, be the one that initiates this between ourselves and those we may have challenges with, or be the one that actually, help people mend broken families, and share food, share hugs, share Eid Mubarak messages, share food to neighbors. And by doing this, we bring blessings into our home, and we build peace in communities, because when you share food, you're also sharing love. And this is one of the ways that you can strengthen family bonds during Eid.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aisha Adaviruku. You didn't only tell us about family bonds, you also said training up children, how you can pass on the tradition of Eid. You spoke on passing on the tradition of Eid to the younger generation. Now, what charitable activities can women engage in during the Eid celebration or Eid festivity?
Okay, so when it comes to charitable activities, all Muslims are encouraged to give what we call zakat al-fitri before the Eid prayer. The zakat al-fitri is a situation whereby every adult Muslim, especially the man in the house, gives out grains. It can be rice, can be millet. So the grain should be the grain commonly eaten in that locality. Some scholars have said that you can also monetize it. The most popular opinion is you must give out grains, and there is a standard measure that you must give. And for those who are able, do not borrow to give zakat or fitri. If you are not able to give, you can even receive zakat or fitri. The essence of zakat or fitri is that so that everybody will have food to celebrate after the. So other acts of charity that you can do is sharing out of the meal you prepare as a family, so that you ensure that everybody actually enjoys the celebration. You can sponsor meals for maybe orphanages. You can sponsor meal for those in correctional facilities. You can pay them visits as a family. You can pay those that are in hospital visits and share meals to them. These are what our predecessors, our Muslim predecessors, did to actually show love and kindness, which is in the spirit of Islam and the spirit of Eid, to all those who are passing through challenges in this, during this festive period. So for struggling families, you can send them meals, you can send them raw foods, you can send them cooked meals. These are some of the charitable activities we can carry out during Eid to ensure that everybody actually enjoys the celebration. And not only this, also gain reward doing this. And may Allah accept our acts of ibadah.
Amen. We say amen to that, and thank you so much for bringing out the role which women contribute in instilling values or tradition to the younger generation. As we round up quickly on this interview segment, we want you to quickly talk to us about the lessons that we have learned and how we can carry on after Ramadan, as well as advising us before we let you go.
Okay, what are the lessons from Ramadan? Ramadan is a time of practicing self restraint. The Quran tells us that we should fast so that we may practice self restraint and we may strengthen our piety. So, the lessons from this are that even in our daily lives, we should carry these lessons forward. So Ramadan is 1 month out of 12 months of the Hijrah calendar, which is the Islamic calendar. During this time, whatever lessons we learn, because during Ramadan, we engage in more Quran recitation, we attend more knowledge sessions to learn more about Islam. We are more charitable because even the Sharia says that when you feed others during Ramadan, you give them meals to break their fast. It's that you get the same reward they did for the fasting from their own reward. So Ramadan teaches us to be more charitable. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that if somebody insults you while you are fasting, you should respond that I am fasting, I am fasting. So you go on a training during Ramadan, and every year you get this renewal of your spirit. God bless all of the teachers who renew our spirits, remind us of, the the fact that Islam is a religion of peace. Islam is peace. And it's a knowledge-filled religion whereby you can always go back to the Quran, you can go to the Sunnah for this. And this is something that is re-emphasized in Ramadan by our scholars. And because we learn this more and we get ourselves to those more in Ramadan, we're supposed to practice this. And when we do this, what happens is that our homes become more peaceful, our schools become more peaceful, because whatever in the home is what we see in society. Our communities become peaceful and we have more peace in the world. So these are the lessons that I hope as Muslims, as Muslim women, as mothers, as sisters, we get to continue to display these models of excellence, and we get to impact those around us to continue to practice these models of excellence and more world peace.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Aisha Adahliruku, for all you have said. Your points were really clear and straight to the point. Thank you so much. Eid Mubarak to you. Thank you for coming on the program. And Deborah, what did you think about what she said?
She said a lot. As a women, we have a lot when it comes to
Thank
instilling
you.
virtue. Yes, thank you once
Thank you so
again.
much.
Virtue into the younger generation, and we need to take that as an obligation, because as we, instill this virtue, our society will be good for it.
Definitely.
All right. Okay, the program is Good Morning Abuja. Let's go quickly on this short break. When we come back, we'll still be here to give you more. Stay with us, please.
And for this celebration, we need to know what the weather would look like.
And with the weather report, we conclude yet another interesting episode of the program Good Morning Abuja, the Salah Special. Wow. Pamela, how time flies.
When you're having a nice time.
A nice time.
Very lovely guests come to the studio today. And both of our guests' points were apt,
Apt, yeah.
Yes,
Addressing
they
a
were.
lot of things, talking about unity, talking about love, yes. And it was an interesting outing today on the show, Good Morning Abuja. I will thank you so much, our dear esteemed viewer, for being part of our show today. Join us again tomorrow morning for another interesting edition of the program. I've been your host, Deborah Abba Usman.
And I am Pamela Zamfara. Eid Mubarak to us all.